Hi guys, how we going? Hope everyone's well. Who's heard the saying, an oldie but a goodie? Just been doing a couple of longboard reviews, and I thought I'd go a little bit back to the old school and talk about some slightly older technology that you might still want to be considering if you're in the market for a longboard, depending on what type of longboard you're looking for. So back in the, where are we now, 90s, early 2000s, Surftech was huge with the Tuflite surfboards. Had plenty of them myself. Personally, the Shortboards, I had an awful lot of them, but the Shortboards, the flex was really quite stiff and they weren't always the fastest boards, but they had some excellent shapes and they were super durable, they were lightweight. They were the height of technology at the time, you know, compared with a PU, they like pretty much last forever. I mean, if you got a ding in them, you'd have to have some paint work done if you wanted it to be really tidy, but you know, they're very tough and durable. So that brings me to Tuflite Longboards. Now, Tuflite Longboards were, it's a bit like some of the other boards are. Once you take quite a stiff construction and you put it over a longer length, it actually becomes quite a nice construction and it's got some good flex in it. So yeah, this is an old, I say it's old, but it's in very good nick. This is a old Bryne Tuflite 9/1/22 2 3/4 sort of all-rounder really, or all-round performance board. The point I'm wanting to get to basically is that if you're looking for a longboard that's going to last you a long time and has some really good shapers behind it, these are still worth looking at. Some people are paying like really good money for these now, because we've got a few of these in New Zealand, and there's the guys up north are saying that there's people flying over from Aussie and even the States to buy up some of these because they just don't make the same technology anymore. They've changed to like the TLPC, and not everyone likes it, to be quite honest. So yeah, I remember my friend having one of these. I've had a few McTavishes, you know, they had some huge names behind them. You had McTavish, there was like Hobie, Channing, some much bigger names than that, but obviously, you know, Takeyamas were always one of the most popular boards. There was just this big array of boards from really good designers, and it's kind of funny because back in the day, the longboards had gone from like the very tradition of the old school longboards, and they'd come all the way up to more like high performance longboarding and all-rounders, and now they've really gone to a modernized version of the other way around. So a lot of the young kids are all on like like boutique-y hipster logs, really are kind of coming back into fashion, which is really cool because that's where it originated from. And you know, some people do look pretty ugly smashing around on trying to smash around on doing shortboard turns on a longboard, so I'm not always a big advocate of that. But if you struggle to walk around the board and turning off the tails more for you, like it is for me, these kinds of boards are quite relevant, because the tail design and the rail design was more based around more high performance or surfing that's more conducive with what you used to from riding a shorter board. Basically, I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. It's basically what's right for you and what you enjoy. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring the old Tuflite up because this popped up on Trade Me. Picked it up at a good price. It's in really good nick. It was always a board that had a really nice flat rocker, but a pulled-in tail, so it actually will go in quite a wave range. You can ride this in knee-high and you can ride it in overhead. It's fairly high performance off the tail. It still goes quite quick because you've got a nice long flat section. It's got a nose concave. It's got quite a lot of V running through the back, which is something I like personally in longboards because I think it helps them turn quite a lot. You'll see that little bit of extra flick off the tail. And yeah, there was just a really good array of excellent shapes from Tuflite, because they had massive backup from some of the world's best shapers. So yeah, basically just saying, if you're in the market for a longboard and you want something that's durable and gonna last, if you see a tidy one of these, they're actually a really good buy. And like I say, there's a lot of guys, especially locally, that are in their sort of 50s, late 40s, early 50s, even in through to the 60s that have, you know, they were used to these through the late 90s and early 2000s, and they've stuck with them all the way through, and they like them. And yeah, you know, that riding style and stuff, it just suited what they were used to, and kind of how I like to ride longboards, really. I mean, I'm no good at walking them. A lot of the modern traditional models are made with a lot of features that are very focused on nose riding, whereas these had more features that were focused on turning and more of an all-round performance, as opposed to just being a really loggy, clunky. I find logs quite clunky myself, but I'm not a nimble-footed, finessed nose rider and walker, so so that's just me. It's a low skill level, so these can be a lot more user friendly for your average guy, basically, is what I'm saying. If you're a very good rider and you like to ride traditional, nothing wrong with that. If you're a high performance longboarder and you like that, I don't have a problem with that either. But if you're just a regular guy and you want an all-rounder, something like this is really quite good, to be honest. So yeah, that was just a quick review on this. Like I say, this one itself, I think it came in at around the 65 litres mark, and again, it's not uncomparable to some of my other boards. It's not uncomparable to like the Firewire Gem and you know, some of the slightly more high performance shapes. Like I say, this one's quite good because it's got a fairly flat rocker, it's got a fairly wide nose, carries a lot of thickness into the tail, but the actual tail template is quite pulled in, and it's got like this hip tail, which is kind of funny because that would be similar to a squash tail shortboard of the time. So yeah, just thought I'd put this one together as well whilst I'm playing with longboards and give you a bit of an insight. And yeah, if you're looking for this kind of board and you see a tidy old Tuflite at a reasonable price, there were an EPS epoxy core. Some of the later ones were actually closed cell, so they wouldn't suck up water even if you did get a ding. And then they have I guess it's kind of similar to some fiberglass and epoxy resin, and then it's got this super hard Divinacell layer on the top, which I personally thought made the shortboards a little bit too stiff, and they didn't have good speed to them. But in the longboards, they were always quite good. So, you know, if you can pick up something like a Takayama board, you know, they used to have like the In the Pink and the Noah Kai models. They're really great models, and you know, if you might get one of these for half the price of a new board, and it'll last you 10 times as long, especially if it's been well looked after. So yeah, Tuflite, Surftech. You can still find the old catalogs online and stuff. So yeah, if you're looking for longboards and you're trawling through the second-hand stuff and you don't really know what these are about, that's what they're about. And there's you can go and get a McTavish original in this construction that's gonna last you forever if you look after it and don't ding it up. Yeah, sweet. Just thought it might be an interesting one for you. Cheers, guys.